Hello people, welcome back. Another Lorcana video, and it's going to be a massive breakdown on the set championship that's just been. We are really close to chapter 6 coming out. However, I've managed to play 5 set championships and just want to have a little breakdown on how they went, what decks I played, and how I feel about the decks. And if you're new to it or you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player playing Lorcana, then I can tell you what the decks do that I played and what kind of play styles they are. So it really helps you commit to buying cards for the deck, because though you may seem as a Yu-Gi-Oh player thinking Lorcana's cheaper, it can still cost a bit, because you have to play most of the time the good cards in play sets of 4. Anyway, before I start the video, like and subscribe, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a copy of a Mirabelle that I won this month. So all you have to do to win this Mirabelle is comment down below and tell me what you played at your set championships, and if you enjoyed the deck that you played, like and subscribe and share. So because I want to get to 1,000 subs as soon as possible, because I really enjoy making content for you guys. Jen and I, my partner, sorry for the squeaky chair, we've been spending the whole month going to tournaments, and I think some people, especially some of the community, like newer, like TCG people in the community, are a bit miffed that people are trying to go to every store and win these prizes. But luckily they've moved what was a top 4 only promo card to a top 8. So there was more an offer, and there was more winners in that respect. I just wanted to play the game, and the set championships gave me a push to go to these places. And we don't really have a locals for any game, so we do have to commit the travel. It's well worth our time to do well and to win prizes, because we come from far away and we commit to that full day. I'm glad they managed to do the top 8 as prizes, because in the previous set championships they made the promo cards, especially the promo cards, more valuable, difficult to get, because lots of good players were just stomping every single local scene. So luckily that's not the case this time round, and I feel like they've learned that, and I think going forward it won't be like the Ursula and Stitch situation. So I played 5 separate decks. I think a short conclusion before I go into it is, when you're going to a set championship and let's say you're preparing for one, stick to one deck. Don't do what I did. I played 5 different play styles, and sometimes I enjoyed it, sometimes I didn't, and sometimes I had no idea what was going on. You cannot learn a deck within a couple of days. You've got to figure out what you want to play for a format and just give it a go, because the mulligan and card design is very, very forgiving, so you can do well with any deck. Obviously the top 3 are very, very strong into each other and into the rest of the meta. You can play anything, and yeah, Jen's deck that she played was just an example of something different doing well, and also a casual player doing well. So this game is very friendly for casual players and competitive players. I've already made a video of the first week. I took Emerald Steel discard, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. The reason why I moved on from that, because I didn't like the game mechanic of looking at hand, discarding cards from my opponent's hand, plussing loads from them discarding. Coming from a Yu-Gi-Oh background, I didn't like it, so I quickly moved on from there. The second week where Jen topped and I didn't do so well, I was playing Blurple. It was the first time experiencing the blue cards, and chapter 2 I was playing the purple cards, so I knew what the purple cards did with the Madam Mims and the Merlin Goats and Foxes and stuff. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed the deck, and I regret not testing enough before the event, because I think I went 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses. In the wins, I was really having fun, bouncing stuff, ramping with the blue cards. The only issue that came up was that when a player went wide with their board, getting lots of characters on the field, it was so difficult to deal with those characters, because there's not much stable cards that deal with characters like board breakers and all that. You're relying on the Madam Mim Fox to just clear things out of the way, and the high stats of the Snake, or Elsa, the Exert Rush one. Those were very peculiar moments to deal with a board that went wide, and every time I played against a deck that went wide, I lost to it. And then obviously I lost against the Sapphire Ruby deck, which was ramp, draw, and then red cards, clear your board. And so that was the first taste of playing against that and really losing hard. So didn't go so well in that week 2. Third set championships, I mixed it up. I kept the purple cards because I love the purple cards, and I put the green cards in, Emerald, the Ursula for discard, and then obviously the Ursula shift because I wanted to play a deck that was anti-singing song, so anti-steal song. And then I also had the Clarabelle draw engine. I really liked Lyle and Kit that was dealing with any like aggro players because you could bounce one back to hand, or Lyle would make something reckless. It felt like taking the blue ramp out for the green like mid-range kind of control element to it was it worked, and it was really fun. I managed to top 8 in the last round. I could have if I tried to top 4 and go for the map. However, the person I was playing said they hadn't got a Mirabelle, and so I ID'd with them, and we both got a Mirabelle in the end. I really enjoyed that deck. The only deck I lost to was a aggro, and I was on 19 lore, and they were on 18, and I passed turn, and they had goat in hand and a snake in hand, so they could get to 20 lore. So that really sucked, but really enjoyed the deck. I think it's probably the best color combination for new players, the purple and green. I think like Emerald Chromacon, I remember playing that against a Steel Sapphire deck that was very song orientated, and it wanted to banish your stuff through the big aerial singer, and having Emerald Chromacon on the field was so good. They didn't want to hit my stuff because it bounced their stuff back to hand, and lots of those things like the Beast and Robin Hoods cost a lot of ink. It's a good balance of control and combo, especially with the purple cards. I think I like the deck as well, the purple cards, because like if you get Be Prepared and you have Goat and Rabbit in on the field, do you call it on the field? You can plus if you get Be Prepared or Maui. And so I went to another set champions the day after this one. I ummed and ahed, and Jen wasn't going, so I was like, I will borrow your deck, Jen. So she's playing Ruby Steel. It's a very aggressive location deck with Jim Hawkins, the Legacy, Gustav and Flynn combo, or Flynn and Sisu combo, John Silver, who can be a massive problem for the opponent. And I was like, you know what, I'll play it. I didn't play one game with it before this, and I literally only picked it up because Jen was doing well with it, and I flopped. I think in game 4, if I'd won that, I would have got a top 8, but it just felt like I didn't deserve it, and rightfully so. I lost that last game to a Sven, which was really clutch, well played. So I took an aggressive aggro deck, and she had quite a few uninkables in there with Tiana's and Eric's, so I bricked on that. And on the previous 2 decks that I played, I got a decent amount of ink, and with Jen's deck you don't play much ink. You get to like 5 ink and then you're able to do everything you want to do, especially when Jim Hawkins jumps down and puts a location on for free. It's just insane. So Jen's actually really good with that deck, to the point where she's got an Enchanted Goofy, but I couldn't play it and I didn't do very well. So that brings me on to the last set championships, which only happened a couple of days ago. I got one coaching session for this because I was not prepared. I decided to play Ruby Sapphire. I've been buying the cards and then selling cards or trading cards to change deck, and with this one, I borrowed the expensive stuff from a friend, so thank you, Chloe. A very hard deck to play. You've got to be very careful with your mulligan, and what I've noticed is you mulligan a lot of the time, and a lot of cards. So often it would be 7 or 6 or 5 cards I'd have to mulligan away, because you want to see a Popsicle, you want to see a ramp such as like Tipo, or even like a Hideaway, and if you don't see that, it's really difficult. And then if you're playing the mirror match, which I did, it's basically whoever gets Flavisham first. And in the first round against Andy, who helped me learn the deck, he was able to get Flavisham like 2 turns before I could. One thing he didn't teach me about was ramping too early. I was getting very excited. I ramped so much of my hand. I had a decent amount of ink, but no cards in hand, and I blame Flav. I blame you, Flav. I didn't do very well there. However, I did top 8. I got 2 wins and 2 losses. Biggest issue I have right now is these buys. I benefited from buys. However, 2-0 buys is not fair. It's not fair on people who have won a real game 2-1, because 2-0, not losing, dropping a game, puts you higher in the bracket over people who have actually genuinely played and won 2-1. You know, that loss just ruins the tiebreakers. So that needs to be addressed. Getting a buy round 1 is so strong, whereas in other games such as Yu-Gi-Oh, a buy sucks and you don't want it. Anyway, monotone voice. I've played 5 separate decks, and What I've noticed massively is after playing the Ruby Sapphire, I love decks that ramp, and I don't want to go back to the other decks. I like lots of resources in hand, I like lots of resources in the ink, and when I played Jen's deck, I don't like playing with very few ink, so I won't be testing aggro because I don't think I need to. I kind of know the concept behind it, but playing all of them really helped me understand how they all work, and it helped me understand what kind of deck I like. So Jen's is quite aggressive and tries to play well against the meta. So with her Steel Ruby deck, she has Pete in the deck. She has no songs, so the Green Ursula can't do anything to her. And then she has lots of locations. So if Sapphire Ruby is trying to ramp and generate a lot for the late game, she can just steam ahead with location lore. I like that idea, but it's not my cup of tea with the playstyle. The discard stuff, I'm just staying away from it. I don't want to play people at a local level and discard their hand. I'm not doing it. I understand why it's the best deck, but it's just not my kind of playstyle. The only thing I hadn't played was Ruby Amethyst, and the reason why I didn't play Ruby Amethyst is because Jen's got a lot of the Ruby cards, so that was the only thing that I didn't give a go. And obviously in Birmingham I played Amber Emerald discard. I enjoyed it, but for a local scene, for a set championship, I don't want to play that kind of playstyle. Anyway, talking about playstyles, I think going forward, again, I want to stick with playing decks that involve the purple cards and the blue cards. Blue for the ramp and the resources, and purple, it feels fun. I think if you put those together and we talk about the Blurple deck, I think it's quite a high ceiling for skill level, and for people who are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And who like combo decks, that's a really cool entry point for you guys. I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players who play Lorcana play Blurple, but I'm going to stick with items Sapphire Ruby for a bit. I have a couple of joke decks, which I think we all do. I want to get good at the item deck. I thoroughly enjoy the ramp. It just feels nice when you're playing cards, inking cards, ramping. It's just fun. I have seen some all the spoilers and the leaks for the next set, and I'm really excited for the blue cards that are coming out. There's lots of item synergy, and get myself prepared for that. But yes, for you guys to win this, I will send this anywhere. You can have it in America land, you can have it in Africa land, you can have it in Japan. I will send this anywhere. So just like and subscribe, and comment down below what deck you've been playing in the set championships. Even if you didn't play the set championships, what deck have you been playing, and what are you looking forward to the next set? The Big Hero 6 baddie, the big guy. It looks so cool, and so I'm gonna grab that with my hands. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in a bit. Mwah.